Hey friends, how's it going? The story begins in a small town where a group of influencers arrives. A local policeman, suspicious of them, stops and warns them. He is sure they will cause some kind of trouble and makes it clear that if anything goes wrong, the consequences will be serious. The influencers agree and the officer leaves, but an uneasy feeling lingers. The leader of the group is Mia, a famous YouTuber. She had been paid a hefty amount to promote a cabin located deep in the forest. Along with her is her boyfriend Joss, an actor starring in an upcoming movie. In the backseat are Pedro, a popular comedy YouTuber, Thomas, a famous TikToker, and Cindy, a singer who focuses more on live concerts rather than social media. As they drive towards the cabin, Mia starts live streaming, encouraging her viewers to help her reach 1 million views. She promises to shave her head live if they succeed. Joss feels uncomfortable with Mia's obsession with live streaming, trying to make her understand that she should take a break and enjoy the moment. But Mia remains focused on gaining more views, ignoring his concerns. Meanwhile, Pedro and Thomas fully support her antics, laughing and chatting during the stream. Slowly, the number of viewers begins to rise. 100,000, 150,000, 200,000. Finally, they reach the cabin they were hired to promote. The cabin belongs to Anthony, who lives there with his wife Linda and their daughter Lisa. Anthony welcomes them warmly, excited about the promotion. He even suggests they visit a beautiful waterfall located behind the forest, certain that Mia's audience would love to see it and might even want to visit one day. While everyone chats happily, Lisa appears nervous and scared. Linda explains that Lisa is Mia's biggest fan, with posters and photos of her all over her room. Lisa feels embarrassed as her mother reveals this, but Mia reacts warmly, happy to meet such a devoted fan. Still live streaming, Mia excuses herself, saying she needs to use the bathroom. She leaves the camera rolling, pointing it toward the dark forest. Her subscribers eagerly watch, unaware of the horror about to unfold. Suddenly, a shadowy figure moves swiftly through the trees. Before anyone can react, the bathroom window shatters. Mia, terrified, rushes back to the others. Panic spreads. Anthony heads outside to check, but no one can figure out who the intruder was. Fear and confusion fill the cabin. Lisa then confesses. A boy from her school named David had been watching Mia's stream. When he spotted Lisa on the live broadcast, he decided to scare her by coming to the cabin and breaking the window. Hearing this, everyone becomes furious. Thomas, unable to control his anger, grabs Mia's phone and starts insulting David on the live stream, challenging him to show up again. Joss, realizing the damage it could cause, quickly intervenes. He reminds Thomas that Mia's reputation, built through years of hard work, could be ruined by one careless act. Thomas grows furious and lashes out at Joss. He accuses Joss of being fake, saying he only came here to promote his upcoming movies. Thomas insists he's only speaking from the heart, while calling Joss a small, shallow person pretending for the camera. If the camera was off, Thomas says, everyone would see Joss's true colors. He ends by shouting that he hates him and challenges Joss to say whatever he wants directly. Joss, burning with anger, controls himself. The live stream is still on, and he doesn't want to ruin his public image, being the hero of an upcoming movie. So he stays silent. Meanwhile, Mia continues live streaming. The viewer count is climbing fast, and despite Joss begging her to stop the stream, Mia refuses. She hands the live streaming phone to Pedro and tries convincing Joss. This could be the world's biggest stream. Think about all the promotion and fame they would get. They could all become stars. After some hesitation, Joss agrees to support her. However, Joss quietly decides to leave the cabin. He tells them he's heading out to see the waterfall and walks away. With Joss gone, Mia and the others, Pedro, Cindy, and Thomas, decide to entertain the growing number of viewers by heading to the back of the cabin for some fun. Everyone seems happy and carefree. During their playful conversations, it's revealed that Pedro secretly has feelings for Cindy, though he's never confessed them. Meanwhile, the audience is loving their fun vibe, and the stream's viewership keeps climbing. Soon, Linda arrives and tells Mia that Lisa, a huge fan of Mia, would like to stay with her for a while. Linda and Anthony are leaving the area. Mia happily agrees, saying Lisa can stay with her. Lisa stays behind as the others leave. Mia notices how quiet Lisa is and asks her to open up. Lisa says she feels nobody likes her. Mia warmly reassures her, saying she's her best friend and promises they'll always look after each other. Lisa is overwhelmed with happiness, feeling like she truly belongs. But just then, Thomas calls Mia over, saying there's even more fun happening nearby that the subscribers would love to see. Mia joins Thomas, leaving Lisa sitting quietly by herself. The group gathers again for more entertainment. They tease Cindy, who doesn't even have a YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram account, and convince her to sing for the stream. Cindy hesitates but finally agrees and surprises everyone with her beautiful voice. Pedro watches her, clearly impressed. Mia nudges Pedro, asking why he isn't complimenting Cindy since everyone knows he likes her. But Pedro stays quiet, too shy to admit anything openly. Thomas teases him, leading to a playful argument between the two. Frustrated, Thomas storms off toward the woods. Suddenly, a loud scream echoes from the trees. Everyone rushes to find Thomas with a knife stuck in his hand, writhing in pain. Panic spreads. No one can understand what just happened or who attacked him. Mia tries to help, but as she touches Thomas's hand, the knife falls out. And then Thomas bursts into laughter. It was all just a prank. Everyone is furious, feeling tricked and scared, but Thomas can't stop laughing. The subscribers, too, find it hilarious. Still chuckling, Thomas says he's heading to the washroom and promises to show them something even crazier when he gets back. With that, he disappears into the woods again. Now only Mia, Pedro, and Cindy were left. Mia, knowing Pedro would never confess his feelings in front of her, decided to leave them alone. Pretending she was taking her viewers on a tour of the forest, she walked away. But instead, she hid behind a tree, secretly recording everything to capture the moment between Pedro and Cindy. Once alone, Pedro and Cindy finally confessed their love for each other and kissed. Watching from a distance, Mia couldn't contain her happiness. Meanwhile, the number of live viewers kept climbing higher. Feeling the need to use the restroom, Mia decided to check on Thomas. She approached the bathroom, knocked, and called out for him, but there was no response. Growing concerned, she slowly pushed open the door, and what she saw left her frozen. Thomas was lying lifeless in the bathtub, blood flowing from his face and body. At first, Mia thought it was some sick joke. Nervously, she urged Thomas to stop, but when he didn't move, a deep fear gripped her. Stepping closer, the horrifying truth became clear. Thomas was truly dead. Mia screamed in terror, overwhelmed by shock. It was the first time she had ever seen a dead body, and the horror of the scene shattered her completely. Hearing her screams, Cindy and Pedro rushed to the bathroom. They too initially thought Thomas was joking, until they saw his motionless body. Reality hit them like a storm. Thomas was gone. Panic set in as they realized all of this was still being streamed live to thousands of viewers. They almost shut it off, but quickly realized it was their only piece of evidence. Reluctantly, they agreed to keep the camera on. Mia stood there, paralyzed by fear. Cindy tried to calm her down while Pedro hurried to call the police. With the police expected to arrive in about 30 minutes, the group was left to grapple with the unbearable tension. They moved to the hall, Mia still in shock, while the viewer count continued to rise. What started as a fun live stream had now turned into a chilling nightmare. As they tried to gather themselves, someone appeared. It was Joss, and his hands were stained with blood. All eyes immediately locked onto him. When questioned, Joss casually claimed he had gone to see the waterfall and injured himself on a broken bottle. But Pedro was no longer convinced. Doubts and anger flared as he accused Joss of killing Thomas. Joss laughed nervously, thinking it was some kind of prank, but the tension in the air made it clear this was no joke. When told to see for himself, Joss hesitated but eventually went to the bathroom. The moment he saw Thomas's lifeless body, he screamed in horror and stumbled back, confused and terrified. Pedro demanded to know where he had been when Thomas was killed, pointing out that while the others were in the forest, Joss had been alone. The bloodstains on his hands only deepened the suspicion. Joss desperately tried to defend himself, insisting he had no reason to hurt Thomas. But a fierce argument erupted between him and Pedro. Even Mia, now furious, confronted Joss, accusing him of being the killer. The live stream audience, watching everything unfold, also turned against Joss, convinced of his guilt. Fear gripped the group. They no longer knew what Joss was capable of. As tensions peaked, Lisa suddenly appeared from upstairs, visibly terrified. Mia rushed to her, clinging to her for safety. Seizing the moment, the group pushed Joss away and fled, desperate to escape whatever horror had been unleashed among them. They knew they had to survive until the police arrived. At this point, they were convinced Joss could kill anyone at any moment. Cindy and Pedro ran off in different directions, while Mia and Lisa ran the other way. Joss chased after Mia, pleading with her, trying to convince her he hadn't done anything wrong. He begged her to believe him and to stop the live stream, saying she was ruining his life. But Mia refused. When she wouldn't listen, Joss tried to snatch the phone from her hand. Right then, someone attacked Joss from behind. He collapsed to the ground, unconscious. Mia turned to see who it was. It was Linda. She had come there to find her daughter and had managed to knock Joss out. Finally, Mia felt a little relieved, thinking the killer was now unconscious. But little did she know, the real twist was just beginning. Mia told Linda and Lisa to get out of there. She said she would bring the others back. But before Mia could leave, Lisa grabbed her arm. Lisa asked why Mia was leaving her, why she wanted to go back to the others who had abandoned her. Lisa reminded Mia that she was supposed to be her best friend, not them. She insisted she would take care of Mia. Mia found Lisa's behavior strange and tried to explain that she couldn't leave her friends behind. But Lisa was getting furious. Suddenly, Lisa pulled out a knife. Lisa shouted that no one could separate them, not even Thomas. She reminded Mia how Thomas once took her away, and Lisa made sure he paid the price. That's when it hit Mia. It was Lisa all along. Lisa was the shadowy figure she had seen before. Lisa had been unstable and aggressive since childhood, something her mother and perhaps even her father knew. Lisa had always been a huge fan of Mia. Her father had invited Mia here, hoping it would somehow help Lisa recover, but instead, things had gotten worse, much worse. Mia now understood the horrifying truth. Lisa was the real killer. Desperately, Mia tried to calm Lisa down, pretending to agree, promising she wouldn't leave. Lisa seemed convinced for a moment, but when Mia tried to snatch the knife from Lisa's hand, the blade accidentally stabbed Mia. Bleeding and gasping for air, Mia collapsed. And in front of thousands of live viewers, Mia died. Writhing in pain as the stream continued to roll, Linda witnessed it all. Horrified, she grabbed Lisa, whispering that they needed to get out of there fast. Together, they fled the scene. Think about it. Mia, a rising star, dying helplessly in front of her fans during a live broadcast. A few minutes later, Pedro and Cindy arrived. They found Mia's lifeless body. Confused and horrified, they struggled to process what had just happened. Meanwhile, comments flooded the live stream. Viewers screaming that Lisa and her mother were behind everything, but Pedro and Cindy weren't even looking at the comments. Their attention shifted to Joss, who was still lying unconscious nearby. They realized that Joss couldn't have done this. He wasn't the killer. He hadn't killed Thomas or Mia. When Joss regained consciousness and saw Mia's dead body, he broke down, crying uncontrollably. He had no idea what to do. Now, the three of them had only one goal. They had to escape before it was too late. Joss tells Cindy and Pedro to head towards the car, mentioning that the keys are in the room upstairs. He assures them that he'll bring the keys and get them out safely. As Pedro and Cindy run toward the car, Pedro hands the camera to Joss, asking him to keep the live stream running for proof. Joss, holding the phone, heads toward the cabin but notices that Anthony, Linda, and Lisa are having a tense conversation inside. He sneaks upstairs to overhear them. Anthony is furious, telling Linda that they have no choice but to tell the police everything. He insists they need to come clean about what happened. Linda, however, is against it, fearing the consequences for her daughter Lisa. Joss overhears the conversation and comes to a chilling realization. Lisa is the real killer, but before he can act, Anthony spots him. A fierce struggle breaks out between Joss and Anthony. Joss manages to overpower Anthony briefly, grabs the keys, and runs toward the exit. However, Linda catches up to him and attacks, trying to stop him from escaping. Just as Joss is cornered, a police officer from the beginning arrives on the scene, offering a sliver of hope. Linda, in a panic, accuses Joss and his friends of being the intruders, saying they are responsible for everything. Joss, desperate, shouts that they have proof, showing the officer the live stream on his phone. He urges the officer to check the bathroom for evidence. The officer hesitates, warning Joss not to prank him. He's been flooded with fake calls about this same incident going live on YouTube. But the chat explodes with angry messages, accusing him of ignoring real cries for help. Skeptical but uneasy, he inches toward the bathroom, only to be ambushed and killed by Linda before he can react. Realizing Linda will stop at nothing to protect her daughter, Joss runs for the car, where Cindy is waiting. But as he gets closer, Anthony grabs him and pulls him back. Pedro and Josh try to fight Anthony off, but at that moment, Linda appears with a gun. She shoots Pedro, killing him instantly. Now, only Joss and Cindy are left, with Anthony and Linda still determined to eliminate them. In the chaos, Joss tries to use Anthony as a shield, hoping Linda won't shoot him. But in a shocking twist, Linda shoots and kills Anthony. Joss realizes that he might not survive and tells Cindy to run, urging her to leave without him. Cindy, unaware of Joss's fate, flees in the car, but as she drives, she's shocked to find Lisa already sitting in the car. Panicked, she crashes the vehicle. The livestream continues as viewers witness Cindy's escape and the crash. The viewership reaches a staggering 1 million, with everyone watching in disbelief. Cindy crawls out of the wrecked car, but the fate of Lisa, and whether she's alive or dead, is left uncertain. The story is far from over, leaving room for a part 2. So what did you think about this crazy story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.